All right, let's talk about Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. A really good performance by really the entire team. I mean, they all looked great. It was a dominant win, but Bo Nix in particular, I want to talk about him. A guy who I didn't think played great weeks 1 and weeks 2, but was really good here. This was a really good performance, and it wasn't just like bad defense. You can bring up Tampa Bay's injuries if you want, but I think he was just really good in this one. So let's talk about what I think he did so well, what I think the entire Broncos offense did so well. Let's just get into it. Let's start off with some rushing, why don't we? And this is really what I liked, is forget about the scrambles, which obviously can be very helpful as well, but the designed runs, I think, were very good. Something like this, where it's a designed quarterback run. He's going to fake as though he's handing the football off, and then run more towards the bottom of the screen. And this is a really tough play to stop for a defense. Because for that defender right there for Tampa Bay, Jordan Whitehead, who's kind of known for being a very aggressive player, it works out sometimes, it backfires some other times. The way a typical running play works in this scenario is there's one unblocked guy, and for that one unblocked guy, what do you have to do in this situation? Well, if it's a handoff, you have to rush in quickly and make sure you can make a tackle before the player can get to the first down marker, which is 3 yards away. Watch as when this play begins, you see Whitehead's rushing in trying to do that, and at this point he realizes, wait a second, the guy I'm going after isn't holding a football. Because of this, Nix is able to get by him, and Nix does a nice piece of running as well. Man dives forward to pick up as many yards as possible while still avoiding the hit. Again, it's not just about the rushing itself, it's about how it opens up the playbook, and it certainly did on this play. Also this one, which is going to be a designed rollout towards the top of the screen. You also have the halfback who Nix will fake a handoff to going up in that direction as well. Watch, Nix fakes this handoff, rolls out in that direction, and right here, Broncos running back Javonte Williams is kind of the one guy that Nix could look towards, but he's not really open. A Tampa Bay player is covering him. But this is what I like about what Nix is going to do here. If Nix just puts his head down and starts running, well, a Tampa Bay player can just run forward and tackle Nix, right? But instead, watch how Nix keeps his head up so the defender covers Williams. This allows for Nix to be able to rush forward and pick up a touchdown on this one. Really good stuff here from Bo Nix. It's stuff that you don't expect a lot of rookies to make, but he's able to pull it off. As for the passing, listen, were there some throws that were just wide open? I think so, especially on that first drive, for sure. There were some Sean Payton plays, and you're going to get some of those. That's the benefit of playing, for a team that has Sean Payton as a coach. But then there were also plays like this, where this is going to be a zone coverage concept. It's number 1 receiver Courtland Sutton against number 1 corner Jamel Dean down the field. Nix is going to take the snap. He's going to look in that direction and fire in that direction. And as of right here, I know it's a little blurry, but this does not appear to be very open whatsoever. In fact, Nix is, holding on to Sutton's back, not penalty holding, just touching the back. But watch this really nice throw from Bo Nix. Just gets it there before Jamel Dean can make the play and allows Sutton to make a nice catch there. I mean, this is a really tough throw. So for Bo Nix, again, you can sit here and say whatever you want. Oh, this play and that play. This is just a straight up good play. And then also something like this, one thing I always push back on is when people say oh, you're just hitting the open guy. Well, a quarterback has something to do with that, right? A quarterback has, part of their job is to hit the open guy, right? So play like this is the perfect example of it. You have Sutton's route, just kind of this quick curl route towards the offensive left in zone coverage. They actually just ran this play prior and it worked on the other side of the field. So now kind of being smart, saying, hey, let's just do it on the other side of the field now because it'll probably still work. Tampa Bay's in the same coverage. As you see, Nix takes the snap and he's going to fire in that direction. And you see, is this open? Yes, this is definitely open. But at the same time, it's open because Nix is reading the coverage well, knowing where to go with the football, and timing it well. If he held on to this a tick longer, it wouldn't be open. So Nix makes this throw, and they're able to pick up a decent gain. They got a field goal drive there. A big part of that drive was just plays like this, getting the ball down the field quickly. So, for Bo Nix, this is what he did in college. This is why he was drafted with the 12th overall pick, is because he was really good at this type of stuff. And seeing him do it here is very optimistic. It makes you feel very happy if you're a Broncos fan, I would assume. As for the negatives, this was one of them. This was a play that I think is, again, a learning experience for a young NFL player where it's a zone coverage concept for Tampa Bay. It's a zone blitz. And again, Sean Payton usually has the right scheme and does have the right scheme here as well, with 3 receivers running all towards the outside the numbers towards the bottom of the screen. Really, that route is usually the one that can get open, kind of past the player who's covering underneath, but not far enough to have to worry about the player who's covering deep. But Nix, when he takes the snap, to me, this is just an example of not fully realizing how good the NFL talent is, where you see right here, this is open. This is a play that should work right now, but Nix is kind of throwing it to the receiver instead of throwing it to the gap in coverage. It's one of those things where in college, this would be a totally fine play, but NFL defensive backs just cover a lot more ground. This would have been an interception had Tiki Smith been able to hold on. Would have been a tough play. Like, it wasn't an easy interception necessarily, but still could have been an interception. So yeah, not an ideal play. Again, these are the learning experiences you just have when you're playing in the NFL, right? These are things you have to learn. Honestly, one of my favorite plays from Nix, though, was this play, which is on the following drive. They're in a tough spot, back-to-back drives starting inside their own 15. It's a 2nd down and 9, and Nix is going for a design rollout right here. However, when it begins, this time Tampa Bay has the right coverage dialed up. They're in a situation, or has the right, kind of aware that this type of play could be happening. Zion McCollum is right in Bo Nix's face, and I think a lot of young quarterbacks would make mistakes right here. Maybe try to hold on to the ball and be a bit too cute, try to make a move. This is perfect from Nix. Watch him just throw it into the dirt in an area where there is a eligible receiver. So really good job there to, again, know where the eligible receiver is and not get a penalty, because an intentional grounding penalty here would be a safety. So you have to be really careful with that. But again, understanding situations and knowing how to minimize damage on plays like this is really key, because they converted on the upcoming 3rd down. Little things like that, they're really important. A lot of young quarterbacks struggle with him. Good job at Bo Nix not struggling with it here. And then this play later on in the drive where you're going to see some pressure, which did not happen often in this game, and usually when it did, it would be like what you're going to see on this play, where you see Nix takes the snap, and it's still taking a minute for the pressure to get there. But if you're a Broncos fan, what are you thinking right now? Oh God, about to lose the football. This is going to be a fumble touchdown. The Buccaneers are going to get right back in the game. This is terrible. Except Nix gets out of that situation, and you see him run, and he gets some open space right here. An interesting thing, kind of why I paused it here, is he could, just slide right now, but Bo Nix is going to play a little bit aggressive right here. Watch him continue moving up. He has no intention of sliding, which at a certain point, after you get the 1st down, probably should have slid. Again, you want to make sure that you're not hurting yourself there. But still, really good stuff here from Bo Nix, to be able to make something like that happen. Really good stuff. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Again, really good performance from him. This is what you want to see, right? You don't expect a rookie to come in and play great week in and week out right off the bat, right? Even the great rookie seasons aren't quite that. You just want to start to see the flashes. You want to start to see, can you put together a solid game? And he was more than solid. He was actively good in this one. So that's definitely great to see if you're a Denver fan, and I think he can build off of this in the future. I think that this shows at the very least that he has a decent floor. He can be this guy. I do think you got to give a huge shout out to the offensive line, just how much time that Bo Nix had in this game. That was a real benefit towards him, because once he got pressured, I did think his play dipped a bit. But again, figuring out how to play this way really can help you out, and it's a Sean Payton offense. You're often going to have time. He loves his good offensive linemen. So yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.